Bonjour, my mighty friends. Tim here, and well, if you don't know, probably I don't know. My favorite uh, NickToon is and always has been, as told by Ginger, since it premiered on October 25th, 2000. I fell in love with all of the characters and the episodes and the show itself. So let's talk about it. Let's do the top five. Let's do top five. I've talked about it like two times. Let's do my top five favorite episodes though. And number five is Losing Nana Bishop. This is a pretty sad kind of thing where you have Dottie who loses her grandmother, which she was very close to, and Hoodsy barely kind of didn't know her that well. So it's like one misses her and one doesn't know it. It's kind of sad. And then Ginger doesn't remember, like, there's this like thing to it that's very this I don't know, there's this feeling to it that this show always reminded me of a cartoon version of My So-Called Life, where everyone has their own problems and everyone has these like obstacles they're going through, and that's that. Number four is Come Back Little Seal Girl. This I remember for how young I was. I I remember crying. I remember crying at this. I remember like specific things would make me really emotional, and like considering growing up, I never really had any friends, and like a lot of like different things, a lot of different experiences in my life, and I remember this. I really cried because I remember to this day, in particular, I always had a love for Blue's Clues, and I just never let that love escape me because it's just Blue's Clues has been there for me through a lot of phases in my life. And I know it sounds odd. It's just there's specific, and it's not just because of nostalgia. It's because there were there's certain things that has happened that my escape was, through. Uh, if it was a pajama party or the Halloween party, the enjoyment of watching that really helped me, and I I kind of understand with Macy and those what she's going through, and yeah, so and then we get to Trey, and that is Never Say Goodbye. This is the episode where Darren gets rid of his headgear and he's gets popular. He becomes pretty popular, and what's cool is that doesn't change. That like becomes a completely different character. Within like this Darren that we know from the first season, that's no more. That like outcast headgear wearing kid, going into like just trying his best and has this Spalding from Moody's Point kind of vibe to him. That's no more. Through the series, he plays football, and kind of becomes a douche. But there's a lot with the character that I do like, and this episode has always been one of my favorites. And my number two favorite, as told by Ginger episode, is Hello, Stranger. This is an episode. Yet again, I remember why. I remember when this premiered, and I remember we're like, oh, so he does. She does have a dad, and we like get a glimpse, or at least a dialogue glimpse of Jonas, and how she gets this belated, this graduation card, and how she wants to invite him to hear her poem, and how hopefully there's a family reunion that she can have with him. Very sad, but wonderfully written, and for acted with Miss Disney did, and just wonderful overall episode. And it was nominated for an Emmy, so that's another cool thing. Before I get to my number one, here are some honorable mentions.
It's kinda sad, really. Guess I'm the sort who linger when the credits roll. I still can't leave the picture I hold in my heart.
And my number one favorite episode, as told by Ginger, is Far From Home. It's always been my favorite episode since it premiered. I just always loved the idea, and just I I put this on the list of like by Tales of Ba Sing Se, and Origin of Donnie, The Great Parent Mystery, The Journal, you know, along with the Mother's Day special, Rugrats. And it's also like along with Channel Chasers, Fairly Odd Parents. I could name so much that, you know, this is just, um, it's my favorite. And I remember the sponsors were from um, Eggo waffles and McDonald's, and I like the idea of having like Ginger kind of have this different look. So I like the blue streak that like the roommate gave her. I like the atmosphere look, the Avalanche Academy. Um, the atmosphere really looks cool. Considering all three parts is directed by three different directors, it's always been my favorite, and I consider all three in, as one episode that I just still to this day love to death.